Sword are pretty happy about those buffs. So let's go, guys. Picks and bans for game number 1, Samsung Ozone versus Samsung Blue. There's the Elise ban right away. No big shot.
Yeah, the set, of course, gotta ban it when you're on that red side, and you especially have to ban it against Dade. Shen going down, so Looper not looking to pick that one up, and the Zyra coming through as well, denying that from Mata. Mata still has his solid Thresh play to fall back on, though, if he needs it.
You know, frankly, I'm a little bit surprised we aren't seeing more Zyra bans than we do.
Yeah, she was the most picked champion overall at the World Championship.
Exactly.
For good reason. She's in a very good place in terms of her support right now. And there's the Thresh ban. Don't want to give it over to Mata.
Yeah, and I mean, this is fairly typical for what we were seeing at the end of last season. Is a lot of support bans. And there is the Nidalee pickup for Dade. We talked about it. Nidalee. Oh, and double AD coming out from Samsung Ozone.
Wow, that is
Samsung Blue.
A very fast pickup right there, and actually probably that Nidalee is going to Looper. I don't think that's in Dade's champion pool, and that's why they picked up the double AD at the same time, because they're trying to force Dade into a corner right now. I have a feeling that if that Nidalee was intended to go to Dade, they wouldn't have immediately picked up 2 AD carries like they did. Now, Pawn, I don't know where that Ezreal is going, because again, Deft, that's one of his favorite champions, and mid-Corki is a thing.
Yeah.
It is a thing.
You know, interestingly enough, too, I mean, that Ezreal pickup could have been to deny the Ezreal-Nidalee combo that's been really, really popular in WCG so far in Korea.
Yeah, the other thing about the Corki pickup, too, is it threatens Dade. It will make him not play Orianna, because there is a chance the Corki Orianna matchup is insanely in favor of Corki. So that has been traditionally kind of a counter pick to Orianna in that mid lane. So I think they're really trying to back Dade into a corner right there. But now they've got to put all of their chips down, and we'll see what they pick up. Vi coming out for Spirit.
Yeah. You always see so many mind games when you get into these situations. We see this type of stuff when Frost plays against Blaze every single season. And we'll see if that continues here. And there's the Annie locked in, presumably for support. And that Cassiopeia would be a strange pickup. But looks like they're going to go Renekton. Looks like Dade, if they do lock in Renekton, Dade will probably be playing that Nidalee in the mid lane. And looks likely.
Well, that's definitely likely now. And Dade, again, this is not a champion that I've seen him play before. Pawn picking up his Fizz, not getting the Nidalee pick up this game. So we don't sadly get to see that Lucian, but maybe we'll get to see it next time around.
I'm excited about seeing Mata play support Annie. Oh, man.
Imp and Mata going for the major bully lane right here. Now, Twitch is not a champion that Imp is known for, but if you're going to play it, this is a royal classic right here when Uzi and Tabe go for that Twitch Annie combination. They like to 2v1 in the mid lane with it when they can. We may or may not see that this time, but it's just it's so easy to win your lane when you have that combo because of the damage that can come down.
Right, and I mean, between the poison ticking, the ignite, the stuns, I mean, that is terrifying. Levels like 1 through 3, basically.
Yeah, and especially if you're going to 2v1 here against a Fizz, you can really, really shut that Fizz down if you're confident that Dade can handle a 1v2 of his own.
Oh, yeah. Well, there's our matchup overall. Stretch O-Vision. Once again, Renekton, Jarvan, Nidalee, Twitch, and Annie on the MVP Ozone side. And on MVP Blue, we've got Corki, of course, Vi, Fizz, Ezreal, and Sona. And we'll see. Game's loading up. Will Ozone get some redemption for Worlds? To be fair, I suppose they still could go 5-3 in groups, but lost that tiebreaker to Gambit. But now it's all about WCG, guys. Let's get in the game. Well, we're not beyond the game right now. We're into the game. Samsung Ozone versus Samsung Blue. Blue has been looking really, really strong throughout the qualifiers so far, and Ozone getting the seed into the round of 8 from their spot at Worlds. And will they be able to capitalize on that? This is a single elimination best of 3 as well.
And you can see Mata right there charging a couple of his W's in Fountain.
Oh, wow.
And then getting down to half mana right here. Wow, there's an engagement up in the jungle going on right now. They ran into Renekton up there.
Yeah, wow, this is a crazy aggressive level 1 from both sides. Def very, very low. Oh. Man, you can already see that poke from the Nidalee Spears coming out, and that's going to be a danger all game long for Samsung Blue.
Okay, well, it's like Dade will be sitting in the mid lane for the moment.
Yeah.
Have to see how these lanes exactly shape out. Imp coming back from the base. Looks like we will see some pretty standard lane matchups here. Chunju heading up to that northern side of the map. And you can see they pink warded up there to eliminate the Ozone ward between the first and second turrets, just so that they would keep Ozone in the dark.
Judging from the amount of wards that Mata is able to buy, I would imagine he's going for those very aggressive masteries as well. Not bothering to go into utility, just going for a lot of damage.
Yeah, and they will be heading into a 2v1 here.
Seems that way. Maybe.
Here, we'll see. So, Chunju, top lane Corki. See how this works out against the Renekton pickup. This is a different kind of double AD composition than we've seen in the past.
Yeah, it does. Oh, there's a stun on Descent. They're going to try to push him out right away. Ignite, actually not taken by Andy in the end, but a lot of damage put on Descent, and that's generally a pretty typical level 1 from a support Andy, is you try to get that stun off and just try to just totally put their support out of lane as fast as you can and get sort of that 2v1 of their carry versus you and your carry. But it's tough to do against Sona. I mean, she's got that sustain. So it's a tough lane for support Andy.
Well, this is a little bit of an interesting conundrum, and we've talked about before the match Samsung Blue how much they like to go ahead with these intense siege compositions revolving around the new Trinity Force, and we're seeing that again here. Of course, in an ideal world, we're going to see Ezreal and Corki hit that T-Force at about the same time, and then it's going to be ridiculously hard for Ozone to defend turrets, and
a lot of
look at
damage
that.
here. And man, we've got 2 kills already, but Mata cleans it up for the 2v1 in favor of Samsung Ozone. That's that power, that support Annie. Hopefully we get a replay of that fight.
Yeah, all summoners won in that battle as well, so the junglers going to be eyeing that lane after this is all said and done.
Absolutely. For now, though, Spirit way up in top lane, helping out Chunju. That top Corki. And Pawn going in onto Dade. Dade taking a lot of damage. Oh, evens it out pretty nicely, though, with that spear.
And Dandy coming in from behind.
Pawn in trouble. There's a knockup. Pawn very low already. He's not getting out of this one, and Dandy picks up another kill for Ozone.
Bit of a miscommunication right there, actually. Dandy finishing that off while Dade flashed right there. They didn't have a plan going into that gank. It's usually better to communicate how the gank will go down before you go into it. That's what most professional teams do, but now we see Dade without that critical flash in that lane and without a kill as well. Be all right, though. He will get at least a little bit of a farm advantage.
Yeah, well, an assist is better than a death, too, so that does help.
So with this composition, though, from Blue, I was getting into a little bit earlier, if they can hit that Trinity Force at the same time, it'll mean great things. Of course, getting Corki, he's one of those AD carries where he actually, due to Phosphorus Bomb, does scale okay with levels. So he will be able to catch up even if he doesn't have items, dealing that magic damage from his rockets, from that Phosphorus Bomb. So a good champion to have in top lane, has that escapability as well to make him difficult to pin down. So if they get those Trinity Forces about the same time, we should be looking at around 14, 15 minutes. Maybe a little bit delayed because Def did have that Death in the lane. He's still leading in CS, though.
Yep.
14, 15 minutes, then some really serious sieging can begin for Samsung Blue, and that's going to be very hard for Ozone to stop. Now, that said, with the composition that Ozone has, as with all double AD compositions, if you go into the late game and allow your opponents to build a heavy amount of armor, it can be virtually unwinnable.
Yeah. A little bit of skirmishing going on in the jungle, but Dandy's going to waltz right out. Dandy known as one of the best counter junglers in the game. Trying to regain that title. Now after Worlds, and Imp in a little bit of trouble. Deft, arcane shift in. Mata trying to get in range for the stun, and he gets it. It will save Imp, it looks like. But Mata in a little bit of trouble. Ooh, man, that was close. That was one power chord away from death for Mata, but that's, again, you know, the utility of that support Annies. You can get those stuns to save your carries, but you can see just despite that early quote-unquote win for Mata and Imp in that bot lane, it's still a really tough lane for Annie Twitch.
And Spirit hasn't been able to do much besides cover lanes either. Chunju having a harder time than I think they expected, and his mana pool going quite quickly. Dandy comes back.
In trouble again, does manage to play full Trickster his way out of that one, though. Ooh. Spear is always scary.
It will be difficult to deal with this Renekton too, now that he has, I mean, he started with the Doran shield, has the cloth armor to deal with autos, and with the extra life regeneration that he gets from that Doran shield, he could probably just go ahead and run Chunju's Corki out of mana here, and then start to harass after that. So in terms of just his lane longevity, Looper probably going to be feeling pretty comfortable in this matchup, and we can see it already going into his favor. Dandy here waiting with the pink ward in the brush, looking for his time to go in. Mata needs to land that stun, though. Mata,
yeah, he's got it
his
charged
flash
up.
just came back up, so this is the time.
And here we go, they're coming in. There's a knockup, forcing the arcane shift, then the stun comes in afterwards. Exhaust as well from Annie. Def in a bit of trouble, doesn't have that arcane shift, and that's going to be an easy gank for Ozone. Not really a lot Sense can do about that pre-6.
That was
beautiful.
That was very beautiful, and you'll notice the big difference right there is that Mata has scaled into utility so that he had the summoner cooldown reduction, because both of those players, everybody used all of their summoners during the last 2v2 battle that we saw when Ozone went 2 for 1. But Annie, they timed it out perfectly. If you look at the coordination right there with Dandy coming in, pinking it, right as Annie's flash came back up, when they knew that Def, due to his masteries, would not have that same cooldown. Just fantastic timing from Ozone. This is the Ozone that the kind of
where were these guys at Worlds, man?
Very smart play there.
Yeah. That was quite good. Love that he waited for the stun after the knockup. They got that arcane shift out of the way.
Yeah, Dandy unfortunately getting the blue buff right there. Messing up the handoff a little bit right there to Dade, and that's pretty problematic actually, because you really need the blue buff as Nidalee, and you need it all game long, and especially, oops.
Nobody saw, don't worry, Dade. It wasn't like tens of thousands of people saw it, no big deal.
So yeah, if you don't have that blue buff, you're going to have a really difficult time, especially if you want to counteract the siege coming off of double Trinity Force carries right here.
Yeah. And you can see in this bot lane, I mean, they really do need good ganks to be able to win this lane. They're going to be able to get that ward and tri-brush, which is a nice little bonus. Mata was waiting to put that pink down until Sense warded it, you can tell. And meanwhile, if we look at the CSing across the board, it's fairly even. Not any big disparities really to speak of.
Which is pretty bad actually, because Dade should be a little bit more of a lead right here if he wants to control this Fizz. Because as we were talking about earlier, yes, there's a problem with double AD compositions if your opponents build a lot of armor, but you need to shut down the Fizz, who has that high AP burst, because if you spec too heavily into armor, Fizz will be able to one-shot nearly anybody on the team.
Right.
So I actually really like this composition that Blue is crafted right here. It gives you a lot of versatility. You can dive well with Vi. You can create picks with Fizz and Vi very nicely. And you've got that insanely strong siege potential with the Ezreal Corki. So there's a lot of different ways that Blue can win this game. Ozone a little bit more standard right here. They do have, theoretically, the better 5v5. And they've got that insane engage coming out from Annie as well.
Yeah, and she just hit level 6 and has her stun just a few seconds ago. Dandy going up the mid lane. Looks like he's going to recall, but they're going to allow that lane to push. Allow for that big gank to come in with the Tibbers ult stun.
Yeah, look at the vision control they've already set up around the dragon as well. So many pink wards going down. Way more pink wards than we saw from Ozone at the World Championship, even when they were going up against Evelyn from Gambit Gaming and Diamond playing that. They didn't respect it with this many pink wards. So we're already seeing, I don't know what it was up with Samsung. They're already playing this early game significantly better.
Yeah. And I mean, this is why, you know, we were so excited about them going to Worlds, because we saw what they've been doing here in Korea, and then everything just kind of fell apart. You got to wonder if that, you know, big sponsor change, all the moves that are associated with that, had something to do with it. Disrupted the practice schedule. Sense getting very low. There's a flash for the kill from him.
Okay, Im's just going to solo Sense right there. Turn on his ult, but Pawn's coming in. Dandy right there manages to go ahead and flash out of that Chum the Waters. They do have an opportunity to get a dragon here. They've got the vision control around it. Will they go for it? Imp decides he's just going to head back. Not going to take a risk on that drag, even though they have a very clear opening right now to do it, especially since Chunju's all pushed in up in that top lane.
Man, Mata and Imp have played this lane so well. Just being patient against the Sona. Pawn, not to be patient against Dade, but then Mata having really good ward control, and then combining that again with the wards from some of the other members on Ozone. Really impressive, tight game so far.
Yeah, the problem is that Mata, that ward control has come at a bit of a price right here, obviously.
Yeah.
But getting that Sight Stone instead of the Philo Stone will put him a little bit behind as the game goes on without that extra gold generation, especially if they don't turn it into objectives. And they haven't been able to turn those wards into global objectives yet. They really missed an opportunity. I hate to harp on it, but they really should have gone for that dragon right there.
Yeah. Oops, there's a flash crescendo on the Imp. There's a flash. Tibbers in response, Deft in trouble, and Imp still alive. No, gets taken down by Sense. It is going to be a 1-for-1 trade with the 80 carries, but Mata really saved that from getting a lot worse.
Yeah, and right there, the shutdown gold going on to Sense that time.
Yeah.
So at least they kept it out of the hands of Deft.
Yep, exactly.
Dade pokes out Pawn in that mid lane as well.
Yeah, I feel like with a support like Annie too, you can go for that Sight Stone earlier because you want to get that health. You want to be able to get in there and brawl. And Annie's supposed to get you kills, right? Which is supposed to compensate for not having that Philosopher's Stone. And so far, I feel like it's worked okay.
Well, while we've got a little bit of a... Whoop, I thought we had a break. Mata getting chased down by Spirit right now. Dandy on the other side of the wall, however.
There's the stun. Oh, Dandy, though. Over the wall. There we go. There's the Cataclysm coming in. Doesn't save Mata. He's going to try to... Okay, yeah, they do manage to get the kill onto Spirit, though. They're going to chase Imp, firing over the wall at Sense. Sense in a bit of trouble. Make that a lot of trouble. I don't think he can get away. Def coming in to try to clean it up, but it's going to be a double kill for Imp using that ultimate to help secure that one.
Cute little move there by Dandy as well, using the slow from the Golden Aegis over the wall right there. I didn't even know you could do that. Pawn
very cool.
Diving onto Dade under the turret. Chunju coming down for the kill.
Yep.
Oh, nice
Dade.
little juke right there. Doesn't save him though. Chunju still picks it up, uses his flash for that Looper.
Here comes Looper. He's got the ultimate, the flash over the wall. Chunju's still in trouble under that turret. I don't think he's going to get out of this one. No. Looper gets that kill, his first of the game. And it's still a pretty close game overall. No turrets down yet. And despite the kill disparity in favor of Ozone, the gold total's very similar.
Well, Doa, since we have a moment, hopefully now, there has been a lot of kills in this game, 13 kills in 15 minutes. But I had a chance to talk to Tabe at Worlds about why he likes support Annie so much, in particular compared to Sona, since we got both the champions in this game. And just in terms of cast time, of course, that Tibbers instantaneous cast time really helps compared to Sona. And Mata going in on Deft right now. Dandy there as well.
Oh, Deft in a little bit of trouble trying to get in position for his flash. He does get it. Man, I love support Annie. when you play support Annie, you really just feel like you can walk up to anybody and just fight, you know? You can get that stun. You can play until your team comes in. Dade in a little bit of trouble after that. His ultimate trying to get away, and he's going to go down again. Turret aggro was on to Pawn. He's very low. Dandy maybe can get some revenge, but I don't think he wants to go in on this one.
They're coming around the other side, though.
Yeah,
Mata
they're behind enemy lines.
split off. The Imp needs to come in, but there we go.
Flash, well, not the Flash Tibbers. The regular Tibbers. It's going to be good enough. Spirit in trouble here, too. Goodbye, Spirit. Now he's a literal Spirit.
Well, they're going to be able to turn this into a dragon as well. And yes, Dade died right there, but due to the overcommitment under turret, they're able to turn it into 2 kills and now a dragon as well. So a big win there for Ozone. So,
oh man, that was so close. One of the best Ezreal players for a reason.
Yeah. So anyway,
Oh, no sense. Sense is like, well, sorry, Def. Okay, there we go. Now he's coming in. The Valiant support sacrificing his life for his carries. Beautiful, and they may even get him one too. Oh, Mata so low. Deft trying to escape. Tibbers on the chase. The poison not quite able to tick. And let me tell you, there's nothing worse as a support than the feeling where you like give your life to save your carry and then they stick around too long. Now you're like, what did I do that for? That almost happened, but Def got away. All right. You almost needed to do one of those apologies to your supports that all carries should do.
Yeah, well, if Imp had actually, he missed 2 poison casks in a row. If he had hit one of them, he probably would have done better in that one. Dade.
Oh, Pawn. Dade's starting to be, oh, there we go. There's the flash. Cataclysm, though, can't be flash. It's been used. Chum the waters on Dandy. Pawn just trying to survive. Dade coming in for that killing blow.
You can tell Dade's not a very experienced Nidalee player. He's having trouble leaping over walls.
Yeah, it's a bit embarrassing. Chunju, a little bit of trouble, but he's going to turn onto Looper and force him away. Mid lane turret taking some damage, taking some significant damage. They could get this. That stun from Annie really makes it tough for Blue to engage. They'll get it. We're waiting. Oh, the big one.
Also the sight ward and a vision ward in the bush right there. So, okay, I'm finally going to get a chance to explain what Tabe said in this bloodbath of a game.
Good luck.
So basically, I'm not going to get a chance to explain.
Sorry. This is why. It's because of support Anthony. There's the flash Tibbers. There's the W on top of Chunju. Gets jumped on. Valkyrie, not enough to save him. And actually, Mata getting that kill, but he deserved it.
Yeah, nice setup there with the flash timber. So what that allows you to do, okay.
All right, go for it.
Basically, of course, you have the stun while Sona doesn't have it. You trade stuns in the early phase and stuns when your ult is down for the sustain in that lane. You have that 625 auto attack range, so you have a range advantage over most other AD carries. But if you're going to be an engaged support, like Tabe is, that's the style of support that Tabe plays. If you want to be that heavy engager, just the instant cast and the Tibbers, of course, the crescendo goes out in a line, and if you are at the back of that engage, you have more of a chance to flash out of the engage if you're on the opponent's team, because it takes like about a quarter second for the cast animation to complete.
Yeah.
So it's just a more reliable engage. And also, since it's in a circle, you have that 650 range on the ult, and the center of the circle is at 650, so you can actually hit to about 725 or ish beyond the edge of that range as well. So you just have a range advantage on it also. So this is why support Annie is being played. Tabe said to me that he thinks Annie's the best support. I don't know if I agree with that, but it certainly is the best support for Tabe's style if you're going to be the one starting big team fights.
Yeah. So much fun to play, too. You do feel really strong with that auto attack range, and a lot of Annies will take hybrid penetration runes, too, to just make that hit a little bit harder.
Also, one of the hidden things that makes Ozone's team composition particularly strong for 5v5s is that you have the radiant AoE damage from both Dominus and Tibbers coming out.
Yeah. Oh, there's a crescendo, completely whiffs. Ooh, boy. Blue in a little bit of trouble now.
And that's the difference right there. Annie would have hit that while Sona just a little bit out of range. Tibbers is back up.
Annie is superior.
So, yeah, basically for a 5v5 with Ozone right now, they have a lot of advantages because you just get so much AoE magic damage from Tibbers and from Dominus that
Yep.
it's deceptive how much damage over time you'll actually take in a team fight.
Oh, wow. That was a lucky spirit right there. Almost like a real spirit. The spear went right through him. All right, well, the siege continues in the bot lane. All the action's right here. There we go. Now a big connection onto Pawn. Siege is pretty strong. Mata does have Tibbers available. No flash. They should be able to get in range without that crescendo. Doing a bit of trouble here, but Blue has a lot of good poke, too.
Yeah, but Blue has no engage when Flash is down for Sona. That's the problem with this composition, is that it only works one way. Like, when you're playing with the double AD, I mean, they've got the Vi, but the Vi is just going to get instantly melted by Twitch if she goes in, and the counter engage from the Timbers and the counter ult from Twitch is just going to be too strong. The Trinity forces are done, but Blue at a deficit right now.
Yeah.
They need to go back and start pink warding up Dragon so they have an opportunity to fight for it when it comes. Nice dodge.
It just seems like overall, I mean, Ozone just really in control of this game. And again, I mean, I feel like it bears repeating that their play looks so much more crisp today than it did at Worlds. And there we go, Dade getting jumped on by Braun. The ultimate, the flash, Dade will escape, it looks like. Yeah, he's gonna be fine.
It is going to allow an opportunity to Dragon, though.
Oh.
Now that Dade is going to have to go back. Doesn't quite get sniped off right there. Dade healing himself up and taking a blue, but there will be a window here for Blue if they want to take it. They're still clearing wards of that Oracle.
It's like they're not going to go for it just yet.
Well, it's really dangerous because they know that Mata's flash is up and Sense's flash is down. So they have to be particularly cautious. Pawn went back, so they are going to have to hold off for just a moment.
Well, so far, Ozone just trying to regain a little bit of that vision control around Dragon. They do have that opportunity to do it now that Blue backed off. They can push this mid lane a little bit farther up too. This will draw Blue away from Dragon as well.
Yeah, Blue is also reluctant because this Imp Twitch is so fed.
Man.
Already having Infinity Edge and Blade of the Ruined King. If they get caught in Dragon Pit with Spray and Pray, it will be absolutely disastrous.
Spray and Pray over Tibbers. So that's a fun one. And Kushab Barrage tries to check it. Dragon is being taken. They're going to go on to Mata. Mata very low. Gets the Tibbers onto depth in the back lines and the exhaust before he goes down. Meanwhile, Dragon gets taken by Spirit, actually. Dade and Pawn fighting the back lines. Pawn trying to get away. Double kill for Pawn, actually. Meanwhile, the fight continues in the Baron Pit. Deft gets taken out by Renekton. Looper grabbing that one. And Chunju in a little bit of trouble here. Can he get out? Yes, he can with that flash. Sense left alone. That's going to get a double kill for Looper. And Imp's going to go ahead and steal that blue buff. So they're going to get something out of it at least. That was a dragon for Samsung Blue.
That was actually weird because Spirit actually auto-attacked that dragon to kill it. He didn't even have to use his smite. Dandy blowing his smite just a hair too early right there. Uncharacteristic of Dandy, who is normally spot on with his smites. One of the most reliable junglers in Korea when it comes to that. Let's take a look at this again.
Mata got a bit caught.
Yeah, Mata did get caught, which is what happened to him in Worlds as well. He only hits depth with that, manages to hit him with the exhaust as well. But without the Tibbers there, afterwards, you're just not getting that same AoE magic damage. Spirit coming in, locking down Dade. Pawn getting a chance to flash over the wall right there. Deft goes down, but Chunju still with the auto attacks. Chunju will flash over. Sense
Crazy fight.
He's trying to do as much damage as he can with Hymn of Valor before he dies. Doesn't quite find Imp. I think he was looking for Imp to see if he could get him, but
Now, in that fight, we did see one of the cons of support Annie. We've been talking a lot about the pros, but she is still very squishy all game long, and as soon as she dies in the fight, well, Tibbers goes with her, so you lose all that damage and utility that you get from that ultimate. And a lot of times, if you're out of position like that, Mata's really lucky, actually, that he even got Tibbers off in that fight. Chunju not so lucky getting jumped on. There's a Cataclysm right at the end of Valkyrie, and he's going to go down. Really nice catch from Dandy.
Yeah, very nice pick setup there by Mata. This is the Mata that we're used to seeing.
Yeah. Oh, sense. He should have sensed somebody was nearby.
Maybe his senses aren't working.
Maybe. It was sensory overload.
Well, Ozone still with a relatively modest lead. They're not running away with this game yet, but they are doing a great job of applying pressure when they have this lead, taking turret after turret right here.
Yeah, looking strong.
And certainly in the driver's seat, in terms of vision, have massive control over Blue's jungle.
Yep. Now, Trinity Forces have been picked up for both of the ADs on Blue's side. And they do have Fizz with that needlessly large rod on top of the Lich Bane already. So there's a lot of damage coming out of Samsung Blue.
Yeah, you'll also notice that Chunju has done something that we don't normally see on Corki, which is pick up a Haunting Guise here. So he's got a lot of magic penetration coming in with the Sork Shoes. Going to be relying a lot on his rockets and phosphorus bomb to deal damage in the fight. True Shot Barrage goes over the Baron Pit, doing a little check right there as they try and ward up their own jungle once more.
Normally we just see the Sork Shoes picked up. That's all the magic-oriented stuff that Corki's have been getting lately, but it's top lane Corki. I like it.
Yeah, it's a little bit different.
Yeah.
It hasn't worked out very well, but
not yet, but I like the concept though. All right, well, now it's just a dance around the Baron Pit.
yeah, you really need forward pressure. That's the thing with double AD compositions that we've always seen, is that if you lose your outer ring of turrets first, you can get in trouble.
By Pawn. There's the Flash Tibbers. Actually, not a Flash Tibbers, but it works out anyway. Pawn going down immediately. And the fight, a little bit protracted, but not done quite yet. I'm just conditioned to say Flash Tibbers whenever I see Tibbers now. Thanks, Tabe. Really appreciate that.
Well, in this situation, though, Pawn has found himself caught out quite a bit this game. Part of that's the lack of vision that his team has had in general, because Ozone has been very aggressive with their oracles so far this game. But at a certain point, you've got to realize that as Fizz, you need to be able to stay safe until about halfway through the fight when you come in and clean everybody up, or you find somebody out alone. Either way,
yeah,
you have to play cautiously. And he's just not really doing too well in that department. Getting closer to his Zhonya's now, so he can be a little bit more reckless. But
yep. We'll see what he can do. A lot of members of Ozone going back, deciding now's a good chance to buy. We do have that Seraph's Embrace finished already for Dade, and here we go, they're going in right onto Spirit. Chunju coming in around from the outside. Def getting jumped on by Looper in the back lines. And Jump the Waters hits Looper, but no real follow-up just yet. Just some Mystic shots from Def.
Yeah, Spirit coming in there, but without any kind of follow-up, there's just not a lot of reason to use that Vial. Sense was a little bit too shy there in terms of using Crescendo, because you really have to hit that 1-2 combo of Assault and Battery and Crescendo if you want to use it properly. And is that a blue steal? No, not quite. Dade picks that one up.
It's close though.
And
a couple close calls for the True Shot Barrage.
Ozone have that Dragon Timer? They should, but he's going back anyway. Dandy decides to back off. So does Dade. This does give Blue a little bit of an opening here if they want to take it. They don't have vision though. They may be pretty cautious right here.
Yeah, well, it's the time you have to try to like regain vision in your own jungle, which never feels good, but it's kind of what you got to do. Mata, though, with that Oracles, it's going to be really, really tough for Blue to get that back again. Looks like Ozone is going to be going for Dragon that easily. And now, I mean, now we're at the point where Ozone just needs to close.
Yeah, it shouldn't be too difficult for them. They have kept Samsung Blue from getting a lot of items onto either AD carry, and Pawn finds himself catching more spears to the face.
Those things hurt too.
Well, I mean, really, Dade's just seeing a fish and he's got to harpoon it.
Yeah, pretty much. He's the Ahab of this. This like worlds drove him insane, and now he's just hunting Fizz for eternity.
Always chasing the fizz.
He's going to take Ozone down with him if he has to. Hopefully he doesn't sink the ship.
Oh.
Oh, man. The white whale. You'd think he'd be going after Corky instead. Whoa.
Wow.
Man,
Dada is
everything
just
taking spear.
connecting with everybody right
so.
here. As they
Reach
loop
out and
around,
touch
there's
someone.
still. That's right. Okay.
With a spear. With a spear.
I'm sure that's how Depeche Mode meant it.
That's right. Clearly. As nature intended. Well, looks like this top turret's not long for the world.
빨강팀 포탑이 파괴되었습니다.
And brown, or blue. I don't know if MVP brown is, but. Oh, there we go. Tibbers not really connecting, but the crescendo certainly does. Mata getting hit with the ult as well. Everybody going in now. Looper getting chunked down very, very quickly. Sent still in the middle of the fight. Pawn trapped in the back lines with that Cataclysm, has to escape, but overall, a pretty good fight for Ozone once again. That counter engage, the crescendo is scary, but they're just so strong right now. I don't think Chunju's getting out of this one. Oh, Kenny, a triple kill for Imp, but he nearly went down there.
That was a cute play actually by Chunju to flash out of the explosive cast, or rather the poison cast. But not going to be enough. The barrier's still up.
We're rusty. It's been a month.
Yeah, it has been a month. But look at this coming in, the inhibitor. Not long. And even though Ozone totally missed that Tibbers engage and got hit by the crescendo, Imp is so far ahead. I mean, even before that triple kill, he had 9. And just his ult absolutely shreds them. Take a look at this again. So Mata, well, he hits with Tibbers. He just didn't have his stun up for some reason. And Mata right there gets hit by the crescendo. 3-man crescendo, but critically not hitting him. And now watch what happens with Spray and Pay. Look at these health bars dropping. So much persistent damage between the Tibbers, between the Dominus and the Spray and Pray. And that's pretty much it. The Wombo, absolutely devastating MVP Blue. And I have to say, Doa, this game has been pretty fun to see. Let's take a look at this again, because Chunju right here getting cute, flashing out at the last second.
And he nearly got it. If it wasn't for that barrier, it would have been a little bit closer. But, you know, with Mata, too, one thing you can do is get up to 3 stacks for your passive, and then save it, and then pop your shield for that 4th stack right as you engage. And I think if we watch that replay again, you'll see he does it kind of opposite, so I think he got a little bit over-aggressive and missed the order on that.
I think he was looking for the opening right there and then just messed up his mechanics.
Yep.
But it's okay. They come out on top anyway. They do have a healthy lead now of 11,000 gold. They should be able to take this one home.
Yeah. And even with that, Mata having a great game, 3-2-14. Pretty awesome.
I love this Leandries on the Corky too. If you're going to go top lane Corky, this is a great way to complement your AD carry, because you've got the last Whisper on the Ezreal and you have the Leandries. And if you hit with a big one and deal that AoE damage, you're just going to be ticking everybody.
Oh, there it is. There's the Tibbers coming on to depth. He just gets evaporated, and they're not done yet. Chunju getting chased. Valkyrie away, gets caught again at the end of Valkyrie by Cataclysm. Meanwhile, Imp gets hit by Prawn in the back line. It's not going to be enough. There's the Zonias. Goodbye, Pawn.
Imp is just an absolute monster this game.
Yeah. I got caught up in sort of the C theme, and I called Pawn Prawn in that last fight. But there it is, the surrender from Blue, and that's going to be a win for MVP Ozone, coming back with a vengeance after kind of rough showing at Worlds. They looked really good in that game.
Checkmate, Pawn.
Checkmate, Pawn, that's right. Usually the Pawns are one of the first ones to go.